Hello everybody, welcome back to Puppy Culture TV. As y'all can tell, I am a little sick. So, yeah, I'm a little sick. So, if I sound stuffy, that's the reason why. But today, um, I am doing a vlog right now. But I only got one vote talking about I should do about my life vlog. And I think that's a good idea. Even though I want to do like a daily life vlog, because I was actually like hold the camera and like show y'all around the house and what I do every day. I might do that one day. Well, I will, but I just think I should do this for now. Like a day, a vlog to talk about my life experience and my life. So I'm gonna start from the beginning when I was born until now. I want to talk about the stuff that I do remember, so, yeah. And just to let y'all know, I'm not going to talk about personal stuff, of course. I'm not going to talk about personal stuff at all, so, here we go. So, I was born, my birthday, when I was born, the day was October 26, 2011. Yes, October 26. So that's my birthday, and the year was 2011. I weighed like 9 pounds, cause, if you look closely at my head is big. So the reason why I weighed like 9 pounds as a baby when I was born was because my head was big. Now I heard like sometimes when you're born, your head can be flat, and that's what happened. Like the back of your head can be flat, so that's what happened to me. When my mama saw me, she said, oh my goodness, why is my baby's head flat? And they said sometimes when you're in the womb, you can be pressed against the back of the womb, and your head is still developing. So when you come out, your head will back of your head will be flat. So yeah, I was born on October 26, 2011. And my head was flat, and I was a big baby because mainly by my head size. Later on, my first birthday party that I had, my first ever birthday party, I had my birthday party like at Chuck E. Cheese. I did not like cake at that time. So I would start throwing tantrums and, just throw the cake everywhere I look, because I did not like cake at that time for some reason. I don't know why. I just don't like cake at that time. So, yeah. That's what I remember when I was little. My mama also told me that, I was at a daycare, like those preschool schools, those preschools where you're like really like 3 years old. So me and mama, when I was like little, like a baby, we used to count together. Like I say 1, she say 2, I say 3, I say 4. We just keep on going until I go to 10. Now I'm gonna say this right now. Most kids that age, like 3-year-olds and 2-year-olds, like 4-year-olds, they can't count at that type of age. It's hard to count at that type of age. But now, if you're grown, you know how to count, of course. But at that type of age, like 3, you can't count. And for my age, I seem smart for that because I can count. And remind y'all again, at that type of age, you cannot count. So, I was at the daycare. The class while I was in was loud. The teacher in the class, she's like this little countdown, counting down to 4, like counting down to 3. 4. So, she raised her voice and she said 1, and I said 2, And she looked at me surprised and she said 3 and I said 4. And she was like surprised because she didn't think I could count because, like I said, at the age I was at, kids cannot count that good. So, yeah, we can't count that good at that time. So she was surprised. And that, I don't remember that, but my mama told me that, so. Yeah, that was something that I did not know about. What else? What else happened? I'm a Christian. So, and you know, at some point when you're little, you got like, if your family's a Christian, you don't know who's God or like Christian is, you gotta ask your parents, mom, dad, who made the earth? And that's what happened to me. So I remember my grandpa a long time ago. He was like fixing up the couch because I think something happened to it, and like at that time you're curious, you want to know more about the world. So I was like deep in thoughts, thinking about, wow, this is a pretty big world we live in. Who made the world? How did the world begun? How did the world begin to begin with? Now, God created the earth. He created every single thing. He created the trees, the animals. He created us. And I feel like y'all know right now, don't think you're in this world for nothing. Because He would not put you on this earth if you didn't mean nothing to the word earth. He put you on this earth for something. You just have to follow that path He made for you. Because everybody's not good at doing that certain stuff. And God knows that. And He will try, which He will, let you go through that path the way that you need to go. But if you don't follow that path, because I want to be a singer, which I can sing very good. I'm not going to sing right now. But if y'all listen to that music video I did like a long, well, not a long time ago, but a few days ago, it was me. The picture of the video was me when I was younger and my grandma, which I'll talk about her later. Well, I'll talk about her after this, but you know, she yeah, if you watch that music video, then y'all see how talented I am. And I might post some more music videos, because I mean like music, because you know, I did make some more songs. I just haven't posted on the YouTube yet. So I probably will post them. They're really good, but you know, the last video, like the last song I posted, did not get that much views or get any likes for some reason. I don't know why, it just happens. You know, YouTube is kind of weird, so yeah. But anyways, back to the topic about my life. So I asked Grandpa, who is God? I mean, Grandpa, who made the earth? And since he was busy, he didn't want to tell me right now, because at that time, because he was busy. And a few minutes later, he told me who made the earth, which was God, and he decided that it was time for me to go to church. My grandma told me, which I call my grandma Gigi. So, yeah, she told me who was God, and she took me to church. And that's how I figured out who made the earth. And ever since then, I was Christian. Well, I still am a Christian. I'm just Christian because we stand on God's floor all the time. And he, like I said, He wants us to live a happy life and wants us to be in heaven. But if you don't follow that path or something like that, you will end up down there. Not up there, but down there. So, yeah. What else? About my grandma. She was a very sweet woman. And I'm glad I have gotten a chance to see her. for those couple of years I've been alive. If it was back in 2020, I probably would have been crying about talking about her. But since I'm strong enough to talk about her like this, then I will not be crying. I'm not crying because I know she's in a happy place right now. I know she's up in heaven, having the time of her life still. But yeah. But anyways, I'll talk about how she died later. So, yeah, it's gonna be a pretty long video. So, yeah. But she was a nice woman. She would give homeless people out in the streets some money so they could provide for themselves. And I remember this one time I was like in first grade. We was having like a Christmas party, and there was this boy named James. He was crying because his parents didn't show up to the Christmas party, because his dad's a cop and his mother is a nurse. So when my mama and my grandma came in the classroom, and Gigi saw, my grandma saw him crying on the desk and just being alone from other people, she came up to him and asked him what was wrong, and James told her what happened. And the nice woman she was, she actually told him it was okay, and she told him, do you want me to, guide you around and stuff like that? So basically what was happening, what she was talking about was that since his parents wasn't there, she would be the parent or the grandma of him and take him around the classroom to do all these fun activities with him. Because the teacher said if you didn't have your parents, then you have to do something else because you can't do it by yourself. And James said yes, and my mama had me, and my grandma had James. So, she was a very nice woman. I remember that so well. So well. It was very happy. She was a very nice woman. And I really do miss her. But since I keep on talking about how I miss her, I'm going to tell you how she died. So, I'm not sure when she had this, but she had cancer. And based on what my family was telling me, she probably been had it for like a very long time. She just haven't told us. And when we figured it out, she was already at stage, I think 3? No, she was already at stage 4. Which, when you have cancer, stage 4 is probably the highest cancer rating. It's the highest cancer rating. So when we figured out she had cancer, she was already at stage 4. She had to be in the hospital. They was pumping out fluid from her. It was very sad because she was a very nice woman. She was very Christian. Very Christian. My mom would tell me when I was younger because she wanted me to go to church. She would always used to convince my mama, Mom, I'm trying to make it realistic as possible. But, my grandma was like, Heather, I want you to take my son to church. I want you to take my grandson to church because Mom would be tired because she used to be working night shifts, and when she wake up in the morning, she'd still be tired. But my grandma wanted me to be in church, so she used to knock on my mama's door and talking about, you need to take my grandson to church. And since my mom was very tired, she didn't want to go to church as much as she wants to. She was just very tired, and I think Gigi took me sometimes, but my grandma wanted her to go as well. She wanted the whole family to go. She wanted the whole family to go. So yeah, but she was very Christian. So yeah, but she was already at stage 4, and I was worried about her. And for some reason, they let her home, which she was not stable enough to be home. I remember there used to be like a doctor that would come to our house and take care of her for like a little bit, like do something to her. I think they had to like put a tube in her stomach and pump out fluid from her stomach because she had a lot of unnecessary fluid in her body at that time. Because when you have cancer, there is something happening to you, and there's all types of cancer, like lung cancer, there's like a lot of types of cancer. So, and this was around COVID, and when cancer actually like been like a very high thing back in 2020. So yeah, I will show a picture of her. Wait a minute, I'll be back. Wait a minute. I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. So yeah. What I was talking about? Oh yeah, cancer. She had cancer. They took her out of the hospital for some reason. I don't know why. Because she wasn't stable enough to come from the hospital, to get out of the hospital. A doctor came to our house every now and then and help her pump out fluid from her stomach. Because I remember they didn't want me to come to that certain room they was in. They did not want me to come to that certain room that she was in at that time with the doctor, because it was probably like a little bit too, too heated in that room for me to be up in there, because they didn't want me to see, whatever they was doing. And then soon, the doctor stopped coming to the house, and she was on her own. I remember, like, this, and I found out about how she died now. So, oh my goodness, okay. So, so it was like nighttime. I was in bed. It was a very stormy and rainy night. My mom was on the phone with my grandma. I remember this whole thing like it happened yesterday, y'all. I really do. My mom was on the phone. And they was talking, and that was the last talk she ever had with my grandma. And the last talk I ever had with my grandma, the last talk I ever had with her was like before we went to sleep, and we sit there. She said, make sure you say a prayer, something like that, and say good night. So mom was on the phone with my grandma, and they was just talking about what happened the following day. And then my mama said that there was okay, they was talking on the phone, and a big lightning, it was like a big lightning strike that hit close to our area, like almost close to the house. No, the lightning strike actually hit the tree that was on the like right beside our house. It was so loud, and that woke me up from my sleep. And yeah. Okay, I remember what happened now. Okay, I'm sorry, y'all. It's just, yeah, it's just a very emotional for me because when I talk about that, I don't cry, but it's just I get a little bit emotional when I talk about this. So I'm sorry if I keep on like going back and back. It's just, you know, what I do. But you know, I'll first start back to the beginning. So everybody was asleep. We was okay at the time. Um, the big lightning strike hit our tree. It was very loud. It rumbled the whole house. And our house is very stable to the ground. So when I say rumble the whole house, don't think, oh, they live in a crappy home. No, we don't. Because this house is very stable to the ground. And as old as this house is right now, we are still living up in this. Okay, we're still living up in this house. But anyways, the big lightning strike happened, and my mama woke up, and everybody in the house woke up, and my mama thought about Gigi, because I guess the Holy Spirit said, call Gigi. My grandma. I call my grandma Gigi. So when I say Gigi, I'm talking about my grandma. So, anyways, my mama, the Holy Spirit told my mama, call Gigi, and she called her. They was on the phone talking about is everything okay. It's like she's okay, and just talking, and the last thing she said, my grandma said before this certain thing happened on the phone was, is Peanut okay? Which my nickname is Peanut. So when I say Peanut, that's me. My nickname is Peanut. So whenever that happens, whenever she said that, my mama heard like she was like choking or something, like she couldn't breathe. She was like making this choking sound, like she really couldn't breathe. My mama was like, Gigi, Gigi. Well, actually, Mama, you okay? Mama. And like she was choking, and then the phone went silent, and the only thing she could hear from the phone was the TV in the background just running. So yeah, she could only hear the TV in the background, not Gigi, not my grandma, we couldn't hear her. The only thing we could hear in the background was Gigi and the only thing we could hear in the background was the TV. And the rain that was currently happening at that time. And, soon my mama had to go to the bathroom because at that time she had to go to the bathroom first, and then she went to go in the living room, on her room. And I'm going to tell you right now, whenever everybody goes to sleep, we keep our doors locked. So when my mama came out of the bathroom and went to my grandma's door, she knocked on her door saying, Gigi, Mama, Mama. She was like knocking on the door talking about, are you okay? And she didn't get no response. She said, Mama, can you hear me? Mama. Still no response. All they could hear was the TV in the background. And, you know, the sad part about it was that my mama could open the door. Since the door was locked, she knew how to open the door. She just didn't want to go in the room and see what happened to her. So, she knocked on my door, and I wasn't asleep. I was awake because that big lightning strike that happened. I was wondering what was happening because I heard my mama talking to Gigi, seeing she was okay. She opened my door and told me to go in the living room. Peanut. She was still on Gigi's door, still knocking to see if she could hear. And when when the response came out, she called 911 because we knew something happened to her. We called 911, and they came, and then my uncle and my uncles fiance came to the house also because they heard what was happening at that time. And at that point, I was very worried. I was like scared to death. I loved her so much. I did not want her to leave. And I was just in the living room sitting down on the couch worrying what was happening back there, in that room. Because before I go into more detail about this, I finna say the room set layout. So this is my room right here. My room is right here. Across the hall is now my grandpa's room, but at that time back in 2020, it was Gigi's room, my grandma. And if you go like a little farther down the hall, that's my mama's room. And the bathroom was like right across the hall from my mama's room. So that's the layout of the hallway. But anyways, I was in the living room worried, and the police came in. Well, actually, the ambulance came to our house. And since the door was locked, the ambulance asked Mama, did you know how to unlock the door? And she said, yes, she did. And the ambulance said, why didn't it open the door then? My mama said she would, but she didn't want to like open the door and see what was like happening. She was just too scared to open the door because she was afraid that she was gonna pass out. And well, I don't know why she didn't want to open the door. I mean, I do know why. It's just, you know, I know she didn't want to open the door. And she didn't want to like, because I didn't want to open the door either. I don't blame her. I didn't want to open the door to see somebody that could possibly be like dead or like choking still on the bed. Because at that point, I'll be in a state of like just standing there and almost passing out because I don't know what to do. I know how to do CPR. I never did it before. I watched YouTube videos and she was choking and I would be scared to do it. But yeah, she didn't want to open the door. The ambulance, the man asked her why, and she said she didn't want to go in the room and see what was happening because she was too scared to open the door. And they had to get a pickaxe, like a really strong axe, and smash the door. Not open, but like hit the door lock to unlock the door. And the door unlocked, and they opened the door because Mama told me what happened. My mama told me what happened. So if you're wondering how can I be in the living room and telling me all this stuff if you was in the living room, then I'm just saying my mama told me all about what happens. And yeah, I experienced some of it. My mama seen it all. The mama told me they got Gigi and put her on the bed and started rolling her to the back door, which our back door is like the main used door, and that's where the people entered from. So since my uncle was there and my uncle fiance was there, which her name I won't say, she opened the door. I mean, she was trying to distract me from seeing Gigi because at that age I was kind of too young to. I mean, I wasn't too young to see my mom and my grandma to that type of state, but I guess they thought I was too young to do it, so she was trying to distract me from like looking back there to see what was going on, cause you know my house is a pretty long house. Like this is how, you know, it's like a long house. When they went in the living room, usually you know, my uncle's fiance tried to distract me from looking back in the living room when they was taking my grandma out of the house and trying to distract me because there was like a big frog out there and was looking at that, And from the corner of my eye, I did saw my grandma. She was on the wheelchair. They was pushing her out from the house. They did have the problems like fitting her through the door, but they did it somehow. So, yeah, she distracted me, and whenever she was out of the door completely, they she stopped trying to distract me, and I just went back to the couch, and that's what happened. And then I was just on the couch worried, and Mama came on the couch with me soon, and she was talking about, yeah, she choked on something, and she was choking, and stuff like that. And she told me everything was gonna be okay, everything was gonna be okay. And she went back in her room and was talking to, Grandpa and learning everybody else that. And then a few minutes later, I think it was like an hour or like a few minutes later, I'm not sure, but it was soon. I was still on the couch. I was still on the couch, and I was just worried, and my mama came in the living room. She told me that she was talking to the people on the hospital, and they told her that we're so sorry, ma'am, but your grandma, your mom is no longer with us. And I can imagine how my mama felt whenever she heard that. And whenever my mama told me, I started flinching. I remember I flinched. I wasn't happy, but like I did have like a little smirk on my face, I think, because I was like shocked from that news because I never really heard so much impact come to me like that. So I kind of like flinched, and then I started realizing that she wasn't really with us anymore. And that's when I started crying. I mean, like, I was crying so hard. Because I had never felt that type of pain on me like that before. I had never experienced somebody dying that I really loved. Now, when I was younger, I forgot to tell y'all when I was younger, my grandpa had his twin brother. He passed away. But I was too young to even realize that he died, and I was too young to realize all that. So, yeah. But since my grandma died, and I was at that age where I was a little bit mature, then yeah, I started crying definitely because I loved her very much, and I didn't know what I could do, and I didn't know what to do about her because the majority of my life she was with me, and she loved me very much. And the last thing she ever said before she stopped talking was, "Is Peanut okay?" That's how I know, and I've been knowing that she loved me very much. So, yeah, I was crying. I did not know what to do. It was very emotional that day. And just to remind y'all, whenever all that happened, it was like early in the morning, like 1 a.m. in the morning. Like actually 2 a.m. in the morning. And then like an hour later, we figured out that she was no longer with us anymore. She passed away. I was very emotional. I don't know what to do. It was very emotional the whole day. I was crying. I didn't know what to do. The second day, I was still crying. The third day, and then soon enough, we had her funeral, and I was crying there still because I actually got to saw her body. She was dressed in a really nice clothes because she looked fancy in everything she wore. Because she had some really nice jewelry and really nice clothes back there. And she looked nice in everything she wore. Even her robe that she wear every single time. She looked nice in everything. And here's a picture of her right here. Hopefully y'all can see this. This is what she looked like. She was a very nice woman. And her name is actually, is it backwards? Yeah. Her name is Linda Faye Robinson. Linda Faye Robinson. Linda is her first name, Faye is her second name, her middle name, and Robinson is her last name. Her birth date was, well, her birth date is on November 17th, 1963. And she died on April 25th, 2020. No, it was actually April 29th, 2020. See? The birthday is somewhere. Well, actually, it's backwards, so. On the screen, it's backwards. Her nickname was Mother Bee. So, yeah, but she was a really beautiful and nice woman. And inside the book. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, inside the book. Here's some of her pictures right here. This is her smiling right here. This is her and this is me when I was younger. This is, okay. This is Chavez, my uncle. This is her in the middle. And this is Steven, my other uncle. This is her on the bottom right here. And this is her and me right here. This is her and my mama. This is her and my mama right here. This is her and me, and this is her and me right here. Yeah, she was a very nice woman, and I miss her very much. And if I get to see her again, which I will when I get to heaven, but if she was right here, right now, I'll be so happy to see her again. Yeah, she was a very nice woman. And when I grow up, of course I will never forget her. Of course, I will never forget her. She was a very nice woman. I had never seen such a powerful person like her before. And that's where I get, that's who I get my fashion from. That's where I get my fashion from. I get it from her. Because she knew how to dress up very well, and I do too. So that's who I get my fashion from. And some people say I look just like her. But I look mostly like my mama. Yeah, well, it was pretty good back then. I missed her so much. She was a nice woman and all that. And I will do part 2 because this video is getting long for me. So, for the people who actually is watching this, thank you. And if you didn't stay to the end, that's okay. That really is okay. Because this video is mainly for me to experience, you know, to when I get older, I can look at my old self and say, hey, that is me. I remember me saying all that. And that's just really for me. So thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you on part 2. Bye.